All right, so you know how sometimes something pops up in the news and you
Yeah.
just think, oh, we got to dive into this.
Absolutely.
Well, that's exactly where we are today.
Okay.
We're looking at Maharashtra and specifically this push from Shiv Sena, UBT, to get the central government to like remove the protected status of Aurangzeb's tomb.
Interesting.
And it sounds, I mean, on the surface, it sounds kind of straightforward, maybe even a little explosive, but you know, us,
Right.
we're all about going deeper.
Of course. Yeah.
So in this deep dive, we want to like really figure out what's going on here.
Right.
What are the political kind of currents, the historical context, and what it might mean, without getting, you know,
Yeah.
totally lost in the noise.
Sure.
We're going to be looking at some of the stuff being said about this demand,
Okay.
particularly some of the reactions from Salmana,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is Shiv Sena UBT's mouthpiece.
Right.
So yeah, let's.
So when you hear something like that, like
Yeah.
taking away protection from a historical site or whatever, it just brings up so many questions.
Well,
Like, what is the motivation behind this?
Yeah.
What could happen? What does it say about,
the climate.
the climate? Yeah. The political climate.
Yeah, the political climate.
Exactly.
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, we got to go deeper.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
So Shiv Sena UBT, led by Uddhav Thackeray, has made this very like clear demand.
Yeah.
They want the central government to take away that protected status that Aurangzeb's tomb has.
Okay.
And they've said the reason is because it's fueling,
Religious.
religious fanaticism and unrest.
Okay.
And they've even pointed to like the recent riots in Nagpur,
Right.
where police officers were injured,
Right.
suggesting some kind of connection.
Oh, wow.
So it's a big claim, right?
Yeah, that's a big claim.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to wonder, like,
Yeah.
is the tomb really the cause of this stuff?
Yeah.
Or are they just using it as a symbol for
Yes.
these tensions that already exist?
Right. And what's interesting is like right away there was a counter argument,
Right. Yeah.
especially from Samamana.
Right.
And they basically downplayed the whole thing,
Right.
calling it just drama.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
When it's like, you know,
Pot calling the kettle black.
yeah.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, you guys are being theatrical.
Totally. Yes. Yet they didn't hold back at all.
No.
I mean, the Samanana editorial was so pointed.
Yeah.
I mean, even sarcastic.
Right.
Like pointing out that, hello, Aurangzeb has been dead for centuries,
Right.
saying he's 6 feet under and not planning a comeback.
Right.
It's like, come on, you don't really think this is about a long dead emperor, do you?
Right.
It just feels like there's something else going on here.
Exactly. I think if we look at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
this is way less about,
This historical figure.
yeah, somebody from
Yeah.
forever ago.
Yeah.
And way more about like what's going on right now
Right.
politically.
Totally.
It just seems like a very calculated political move.
Right.
To get the support of
Supporters.
Yeah.
They're supporters.
like a show of power.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're the ones,
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Exactly.
And you could even see it as a way to get more voters.
Totally.
Like their traditional voter base.
Yeah.
So.
And Samana, they really just kind of hammered this home.
Yes.
The whole idea of like political maneuvering.
Yes.
They even brought up the Babri Masjid demolition,
Right.
which is just a huge comparison.
Yeah. So much history there.
So much history.
Yeah.
And then they're like, remember back then
Yeah.
when that happened?
Yeah.
The Congress Party was in power nationally,
Right.
and BJP was governing Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
And then they're like, and look at now.
Right.
It's like what they call the saffron alignment,
Right.
with Modi at the center
Yeah.
and Fadnavis
Yeah.
in Maharashtra.
Oh.
So it's like they're pointing out, hey, BJP can do something now
Right.
if they were serious about it.
It's like putting it right back on them.
Totally.
Like you're saying you want to do this?
Yeah.
Well, you're the ones in power.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. And they were so, I don't know, it was
Yeah.
almost like a challenge.
Right.
Like they were saying, okay, if these BJP leaders, they really want this tomb removed,
Yeah.
they should go out and do it themselves.
Right.
Like picturing Modi, Fadnavis,
Yeah.
Phagwat,
Yeah.
Shinde
Right.
Pawar,
Yeah.
like out there with shovels.
Right.
It's so like dark humor,
Yeah.
but it's also like,
It's a challenge.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
So you have to ask like,
Yeah.
is this a real like deeply held conviction,
Right.
or is it like
Just for show.
just for show?
Yeah.
But then it gets even more complicated
Okay.
because there's this other perspective
Right.
from inside Shiv Sena UBT. And Bhadas Danve, who's a pretty prominent leader,
Right.
said that actually the tomb should stay
Oh, wow.
because it shows how brave
Wow.
and important Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was.
Interesting.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective.
Totally.
And just shows you,
Yeah.
how we remember history.
Yeah.
And what we make it mean,
Yeah.
Like Dan Valdivia saying that these historical figures,
Yeah.
they become more important when there's a contrast.
Right.
He used this analogy, Batman and the Joker.
Okay.
If you get rid of the bad guy,
Yeah.
the good guy doesn't seem as,
Heroic.
heroic.
Yeah.
It's like Aurangzeb isn't just some guy from the past.
Right.
He's the guy Shivaji stood up to.
Right.
And that makes Shivaji even greater.
Yeah. Like, you can't have good without evil.
Exactly.
Totally. And Sanjay Rao
Yeah.
said the same thing.
Yeah.
He even went further. He said the BJP doesn't really care about religion. They just want to undermine Shivaji's legacy
Wow.
by erasing the memory of the guy he fought against.
Oh, okay.
He says you can't just bulldoze history away.
Yeah.
It's a big statement.
Yeah, it is. So what are they really trying to do? I mean, they say it's about stopping religious fanaticism, but it seems like there's
Something else.
a much bigger political strategy. Like,
Yeah.
they're using these symbols from
Yeah.
history
Right.
to fight for power
Right.
in Maharashtra
Yeah.
and nationally.
Yeah.
So it's not about the tomb itself.
Yeah.
That's just the focal point,
Right. And it kind of feels like they're focusing on this tomb,
Yeah.
this really old tomb,
Yeah.
to avoid dealing with the real problems in society.
Right.
Like, if people are still getting this riled up
Yeah.
over something from so long ago,
Yeah.
maybe we haven't really learned from the past.
Yeah. Are we really coming to terms with history?
Right. Or are we just picking and choosing
Yeah.
what parts we like?
Right.
And using that to,
For their own purposes.
yeah, for political gain.
Yeah.
And what does that do to society
Right.
in the long run?
And like while all this is happening,
Yeah.
like these high level debates about history and politics,
Right.
you also have to remember
Yeah.
the everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Like they brought up how bad the roads are in Maharashtra,
Right.
how many people are unemployed,
Right.
even like how police officers are being treated at these protests. Like
Yeah.
these are real problems that
Yeah.
need attention.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what are we really focusing on?
Right.
Is it more important to tear down a tomb
Right.
than to deal with the problems people are facing every day?
Exactly.
So as we wrap this up,
Okay.
let's just go over what we've talked about.
Sure.
So Shiv Sena, UBT, wants to remove that protected status
Right.
for Aurangzeb's tomb.
They say it's to stop religious fanaticism.
Right.
But then you have Samana
Yeah.
saying it's just a political stunt.
Right.
And then some people in Shiv Sena UPT
Yeah.
are saying the tomb actually shows how important Shivaji was.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really about Aurangzeb himself.
Right.
It's about how people are using his tomb
Right.
for their own political goals.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these historical symbols
Totally.
become part of the political landscape today.
Yeah.
And I think it makes us,
Yeah.
really think about why this is happening now.
Yeah.
What are these politicians really trying to do? And
Right.
how does the way we see history
Yeah.
change how we see the present
Right.
and the future?
Yeah. So I'll leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Is getting rid of pieces of the past
Yeah.
really the answer
Right.
to all of our problems?
Yeah.
Or is it distracting us
Yeah.
from the real issues
Right.
that are dividing us?
Right.
Like maybe true progress isn't about destroying the past.
Right.
It's about understanding it,
Right.
even the parts that are hard to face.
Yeah.